What is up, everybody, and happy Tuesday. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. And today I want to go over a pivotal decision made by the Federal Reserve last week. Remember, last week they announced they plan to cut interest rates. But what does this all mean? I mean, this is big news, but I want to walk you through what this actually means for you and for the economy. So let's get straight to the source. In last week's Federal Reserve's meeting, they shared the economic projections, and it's important to note that they typically don't ever do this at every meeting. Now, one of the key projections or predictions is about inflation. The Federal Reserve aims to bring down inflation to 2%. The projections show inflation is falling at 3.2%. Then in 2024, 2.4%. And then finally reaching that 2% target by 2026. I know 2026 seems a long way out, but it'll come up quick. But here's where it really gets interesting, because the Federal Reserve plans to cut the interest rates sooner than later. Not when inflation hits 2%, but as it's on its way. This is huge because it shows the Fed's commitment to stimulate the economy sooner rather than later, like I said before. Now, let's talk about unemployment rates, because the Federal Reserve predicts a slight increase in unemployment, reaching 3.8% by the end of this year, like now, next month. And even with this unemployment increase, they're still not projecting a recession. They expect GDP growth to slow down next year, but then pick up again in 2025 and 2026. Now, here's another interesting part. Now, stay with me, okay? The current federal funds rate interest rate is between 5.25 and 5.5%, and the Fed projects to cut interest rates by 0.75% next year. That's in total, bringing it down to 4.75%, and even further down to like 3% by 2026. Now, in last week's press conference highlights, Jerome Powell emphasized that they do not need to raise interest rates higher at this time. However, if inflation made a strong comeback, the possibility is there. So what does this all mean? Powell clarified that we're not currently in a recession, and the likelihood of one in the near future is not high. However, he did acknowledge the ever-present possibility. So was that a hint as to what is to come? Who knows? All of this is so cryptic. Anyways, according to the Federal Reserve's motivation for cutting interest rates now, it's because they've seen a slowing down of inflation. And even though we're not in a recession, again, very cryptic. An interesting point was raised during the press conference about core inflation. Powell admitted that it has been sticky, but also noted that there's real progress being made. And in response to a question about an upcoming presidential election, he was so clear. The Federal Reserve's decisions are not based on politics or influenced by politics. Now, you tell me, what do you think about that? Because I call BS, but who knows? That's just me, right? Another crucial question during the press conference was posed about the general public's perception of the economy. Why, despite all this positive economic data, why are people not feeling great? Well, Powell said this is to the fact that while inflation rates are falling, prices aren't decreasing. They're just not rising as fast. He also noticed that wages are now increasing faster than inflation, which might help improve the public's mood. What do you think about that one? So what's the takeaway from all of this? What do you think? Comment below. How do you feel about all of this? Is the Federal Reserve actively working to balance the economic growth while keeping inflation in check? It seems like they're prepared to adjust their policies as needed from what I got from the press conference. But for now, the plan is to just cut interest rates, which should act as a stimulus for the economy. And on that note, that is all I have on this update. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this breakdown helps you understand the current economic landscape a little bit better or more gooder. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights, and I wish you all a fantastic day.